I'm delighted to be joined by Anthony Ta, Digital Project Director and Innovation Watch Leader at Société Générale, who has agreed to talk us through Project DANIE, one of the case studies within the recent FFIS paper, which compiled privacy-preserving analytics case studies. Anthony, can you talk us through Project DANIE? And I believe you have some slides to take us through.
Yeah, sure. Thanks a lot, Nick. So let me present you some slides that give you more details on DANIE's project. And first, let's talk about the origin of the project. So one of the big challenges for financial institutions is client reference data. I mean, this data set is operational, difficult to maintain, and any errors trigger a cascade of operational problems and can even end up with fines by the regulator. So banks are facing many regulatory obligations as well as GDPR, increasing year after year the internal cost of maintaining this data. And in general, banks spend time and huge amount to get their client reference data updated, whether by contacting their clients, spending time in remediation, or buying data from data vendors. So back in 2018, a group of banks started wondering if they're able to avoid costly third-party to centralize checks, to measure our data quality with our peers without revealing data and clients' relationship, and finally to reduce this internal maintaining cost.
Could you tell us a bit more about what you mean by reducing the internal maintenance cost?
Sure. Yeah, sure. So let's say in the case of remediation plan, where we need to review, for example, 50,000 of clients' data, we spend time in reviewing them. When on average, for banks, we know that only 10% of our clients' data needs to be updated. We are not able to track it unless going through this 50,000 clients' data. So the question was, are we able to focus only on clients' data where potentially we need to review them and not spending time on 90% of the clients where, all these data are already updated?
And have you been able to develop this into a workable product?
Well, in the past, it was impossible because actually we are not able to share our client reference data with our peers, as well as because we will reveal banks and clients relationship first. And second is we won't respect the copyright issue we have between us and our data vendors. But thanks to new technology, such as privacy enhancing technology, in our case, a combination of distributed ledger technology and advanced cryptography technology, we've been able to reach the right level of trust, and we are now cooperating with our peers. So the first referential data quality benchmark were computed at the end of 2018 with a fully encrypted solution guaranteeing anonymity and privacy. Since then, we have been doing more reconciliation and kept on improving the solution. This led to the DANIE initiative since early 2020.
Great. And could you tell us, who's involved? How does the interaction work between the partners in Project DANIE?
Sure. So maybe let's have a look on what DANIE can offer. So what you can see here, it's DANIE is a holistic platform where participants can process their data set without revealing the source and by encrypting their data. And this in a compliant and cost-effective way through industry collaboration and via PETS technology. This project gathers a consortium of banks and data providers working together by participating in proof of concept, brainstorming, workshop, and weekly meeting. In regards of the technical solution, this technical solution is provided by a London-based startup called Secretarium, which use one of the privacy enhancing technology which is called confidential computing. So here, what you can see on this slide is the data processing overview. So here you can see a group of banks and data vendors deciding to measure the quality of their client reference data based on the matching key. So for our first use case, we will use the LEI, the Legal Entity Identifier, as the matching key. So participants can benchmark all the data fields linked to each LEI, such as the full legal name, the company address, the B code, and so on. So to participate, new joiner needs to create an account on DANIE platform. And it has been designed very user-friendly, you can say, with the app, and no particular skills are required. So participants then just need to drag and drop their Excel file with their data set to the platform. Of course, each data field have to respect a certain format required by DANIE platform. And once, the data set has been reviewed by the platform, they can just have to process their data to get reconciliation. So the participation are kept anonymized and data remains encrypted during the process of reconciliation. And depending on how large your data set is, it takes seconds to few minutes to get a report showing if you are in a full consensus with your peers and where you have anomalies. So the major difference when comparing to other venues is that actually is that no one knows whose data is being processed, what data is being processed, and there is no way that Secretarium can monetize our data because these data during the whole reconciliation will be anonymized and encrypted.
And from your perspective at Société Générale, how do you confirm the security of that process, the security of your sensitive data within this project?
Yep. So in Société Générale, we have gone through assessment, review, and penetration test to make sure that there won't be any leakage and hacking possible during the whole process of reconciliation. So, and also our expert in cybersecurity teams were involved as well to review all the reconciliation process, making sure that once the dataset from Société Générale are going out of our system and during the whole process of reconciliation, there is no leakage possible and nobody can view in clear all our data. So here, what we can show here, it's really all the benefits that the solution can provide, whether it's operational efficiency, non-financial benefits, and also the fact that the technology used it's eco-friendly. So let's have a look first on the operational efficiency one. So as we mentioned earlier, in regards of the accuracy, in the fact that for any remediation plan, we'll be able to save times because we'll only focus on data that potentially are in error, is something that all the financial institutions are looking for. The other part is the data quality improvement because banks are now able to focus only on data that are potentially in error. They can start to do quite a lot of many remediation in order to make sure that all their data in their data lake are the most updated one. Finally, thanks to the cooperation of all the financial institutions, banks and data provider, there is a cross-industry standardization of data format and value, highlighting internal anomaly and reinforcing best practice. And in terms of technology, as we mentioned earlier, we have done some proof of concept, some review. Some banks have done already some penetration test with third party to make sure that there's no leakage. So we can say that this technology can be already live and can run in production. In regards of non-beneficial benefits, so compared to other alliance with a third party where you will provide your data in clear, here you don't need any you don't need to trust a third party because the third party like Secretarium only have all the data anonymized and encrypted. And finally, yep.
Can you tell us about the proof of concept, the work done so far? What has been achieved?
Sure. So we've done two proof of concept back 2018 and 2019, and we are now running two others since 2020 with new financial institutions. So if we look back for our first proof of concept in January 2020, we've processed 22,570 LEI based on 16 data fields with 3 banks and 2 data providers, and the feedback was very positive. All the participants were able to review their consensus data and do their analysis. And we've recently started another reconciliation that will last until end of September. It has a wider volume of LEI and data field, and we expect to have new participants during this summer.
Very interesting. And what is the next step after that? What is the vision for future growth?
So we'll see, but let's say after the second proof of concept have been added in September, We'll start discussing on the creation of a new legal structure. Discussion will be around the governance, the operating model, the financial plan, and also how to invest on this new legal structure. And we would like to have this structure up and running by beginning of next year.
Very interesting, and great to see that you've been able to make that progress despite obviously the COVID-19 disruption. Apart from the case study that you've talked about in terms of client reference data and being able to benchmark your client reference data against peer financial institutions, are there any other use cases that you're looking to explore?
Yep. So thanks to the scalability of the confidential computing that Secretariat provide, actually you need to think DANIE as a platform where you can add several applications. So as you mentioned, data quality benchmark is the first application, but we can think of other applications such as AML or CTF purpose, regulatory purpose, or market data, as these new technologies opens to many opportunities.
Fantastic. Well, in this series, we only have time for very concise interviews and interactions, but obviously there's more information on Project DANIE in the FFIS study, and we'll be very interested to keep pace with your project and find out what you learn and discover through the course of your initiative. So thank you very much for sharing your thoughts on Project DANIE with us today, Anthony. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, a pleasure. You're welcome.